Till yesterday, we talked of management of the monetary resources in the economy by the central bank. We have seen the instruments, all aiming at a certain set of aims, objectives. Today, we have to deal with RBI's monetization policy. In simple terms, printing money. What prompts the RBI to print money? How much can it print? What is the control, regulatory control on it? How does the printed money go into the market? What are the systemic restrictions? That is our first subtopic today. After that, we'll keep going. There are more sub-chapters in that. So all of you have been wondering, what's the framework within which the printing process operates? You're wondering. Everyone wonders. It takes a little bit of thinking, information to figure this out. We'll handle it. It's not barter. It's not that I'll give you history book, you exchange it for geography book. No. It is the universal medium of exchange, money. You need money. Money for what? Money trades for everything. Money you can hold it. Money is also a unit of account. I can't enter, I have sold 10 apples, 5 oranges, 7 something else, bags of wheat. I have sold for 100 rupees. So with money, I can simplify accounting. I can use it as a store value. That is, if I keep 100 rupees, I can convert that into wheat, rice, pulses, anything else, travel, phone call, everything else. Store of value, medium of exchange, everything exchanges for money, and of course the unit of account, 100 rupees, XYZ. So the entire economy runs on this entity called the money. So RBI is a monetary authority. It has to print money and give it to him who will invest, give it to him who will buy, give to the other person, he will do, whatever he does, all related to money. Investment, speculation, consumption, production, storage, anything he does with money, let him do, for which there has to be money. And money has to be minted if it's a coin, printed if it is paper. And today it's digital, that's another story. Same thing in digital format, the e-rupee or digital rupee. So RBI, the monetary authority, monetizes, that is prints. In your language, my language, print. In technical language, monetization. Monetization means, but monetization is a very big word, printing. So RBI prints, so RBI wants to print. What is the precondition for it? All over the world, after all, we are the people using money. We need to have faith in money, trust in money. If the money loses value, we don't want to be wiped out. We would like to be secure with the money we hold. And so originally there was this gold and silver, precious metals. And when you printed money, you had to link that to the availability of gold. If you have X amount of gold, you can print Y amount of money. So that people trust your printing the money If they have a problem with the cash they are holding, exchange, go to the RBI. They'll give you gold, and gold everyone trusts, and therefore they trust in the monetary process. Originally, but then to print, if you needed gold, if you didn't have gold, you can't print, and so the whole thing stalls. And what's the government for? Government has to defend the country, for which it needs money, salaries and equipment and all that, office buildings and all that. It needs money. If you can't print the money because you have no gold, then you die by gold. Now, or if you want to have 1 gram of gold and print 1,000 rupees, 1 lakh rupees, what's the link? The link is of no value at all. Why have gold 1 gram for 1 lakh rupees? So either way, anchorage with gold is problematic, and therefore today the gold link, the gold standard, doesn't exist anywhere. It exists in a minimal form. So what did the RBI Act originally say? You must have, you want to print 100 rupees, have 40 rupees of gold, then you can print 100. But then if you don't have 40 rupees of gold, if you can't print 100 rupees, then again, can you defend the country? Can you develop the country? You can do nothing, and for want of gold, you go down. So that was called the proportional system. In proportion to the gold you hold, print. That is actually gold standard. So in 1956, the government made a new rule saying that don't need 40%, minimal reserve. From proportional reserve, minimal reserve. What is this blue ring shadowing me? Okay, gone. Proportional reserve to minimal reserve. You know? You have 40 rupees worth of gold, print 100 rupees, proportional, in proportion. But then gold was a problem. So the government said, just keep 200 crores of rupees. 200 crores of rupees. 115 of gold and rest of foreign currency, just keep that, minimum. And then you print as much as you like. So that, after all, gold and foreign currency, if you keep, public will have trust in you. But you also can print as much as you like, you just keep the minimum, so that the sovereign functions and the regulatory framework, both are balanced. Government can do what it wants, and still you are anchored to some gold and foreign currency. So from proportional to minimum, you shift it. Dharmendra ji, the graphic. Graphics give you steroids. My kind of graphics. Just now I sent, just now. This was ancient India. Now we have come to medieval. Latest, the black bear. This is of course later. This. See how wonderful it looks? You feel like studying double, triple. These are primer, fundamental, basic, clear details. Use words like this: safety net, public trust. The examiner will fall in love with you, give you, out of the world marks. And written like you and I are talking.
Sir, can you please explain again regarding proportional reserve?
Proportional is, see, I'll use this part. This much of gold and foreign currency you have, 40. You can print 100. But how will you get your 40? 40 is a lot. 40 is one hell of a lot. If you don't have gold, give your country back to Britain. They had accumulated a lot of gold through mercantile policies. So, is gold to rule or people to rule? So, junk gold, chuck gold. This is proportional, in proportion to gold that you hold. Just say 200 crores worth of, minimum reserve. And what inspires the public today? Let's go to the market, out on the road, talk to people. What inspires you? Gold inspires us. Foreign currency inspires us. If your printing rules are linked to the availability of gold and foreign currency, that keeps us, keeps our trust in the government policies. But then you can't limit your sovereign functions based on the rule of gold, standard of gold. So have, but have minimum. This is proportion we can't afford. Minimum we surely can. So public trust, sovereign functions, balanced. I hope you got it?
Yes.
Yeah. Just like your 10th class economics, for God's sake. Give it too much of respect, then you lose your plot. 10th class. You got this? Or I suggest, it's looking so wonderful, spend another 1 minute on it. 30 seconds. In fact, I was looking for more symbols to communicate more appealingly, but then I thought it's okay. So from proportional you got to minimum. Tomorrow who is going to ask you? He may ask you proportional, you are the winner. Minimum, you are the winner. Which one prevails, you are the winner. And why anchor this? You are the winner. Public trust and social, the safety net. So any which way he is going to ask you, if you spend 30 seconds, you will get full marks. 30 seconds. The name of the game is reduce the entire process of getting it right to 30 seconds. Yeah. Okay. So let's return to our lecture. Anything else? I think there's a fact also. Side by side with this, there is a fact also, if I recall. Those people who love it the non-table way. There is just side by side, just before that. One graphic shot of where we landed, where we had spent our time. Further, black. That one, maybe.
We have seen.
Before this? Yeah. This, somewhere here, between this and that. Here? This is it. It wasn't black, so you are also right. People love it. Q and A, building it up from basics. For them, 1 minute. Even that was a Q&A, but tabular. So you know all this? I think we can squeeze it to 30 seconds. All right, so let's go back to the, next step. Yeah, you can. Okay. So you are allowed to print. The norms are minimal reserve. Why gold and foreign currency? Basically if you printed 1 rupee more, put gold in the market, take it out. So because of the public trust in the monetary system anchored to these foreign currency and gold, you can ensure that excess of money printed can be what they call sterilized. Sterilization is if there is excess of rupee in the economy, that will inflate. So how much is the excess? 1.5 rupee. Sell a government bond, take it out. What are you doing? In the OMO, one of the goals is sterilization. That is, the inflationary part of the money in the economy is removed. That is sterilization. Okay. Now, you are extremely eager to know what prompts the RBI to print. Now we know how much it can print. 200, as much as you can print. But please understand one thing. You see, I'm lecturing, you're listening. Everyone in this classroom knows, everyone, what has to be taught, how it has to be taught, how do you link it with the examination, what should be the right question, what should be the right answer, and you will give me a leeway margin of 5%, that side or this side. 5, 10, what? May not be that also. So everyone in the world knows, everyone means the guys who matter, they know how much money has to be printed. Today, Indian economy, $3.75 trillion, growing at about 6%, and all else, inflation, growth, and anything else. So with this, what should be the amount of money that the RBI should print from today till October 20th of next calendar? In a given year, how much should be printed? They know it, the rate of growth of money supply, they know it. So RBI can't print 1 rupee more or 1 rupee. 1 rupee they will look the other way because the leadership is credible. I'm saying there is a general estimate as to how much of money the economy of the country today can take. So ultimately, what is it that binds you to a certain norm? You know, the systemic requirement. No amount of law can compel you. America is printing. Yesterday, Biden asked the Congress to give him $100 billion. What is he going to do? 65 to Ukraine, and rest he is giving to essentially Israel. Not these people who are being forced to flee and they're dying. Not to them. Israel. So how will America get it? Print. But American printing process is separating. Basically same, but the logic there is different because their condition is different. So how much you can print? Okay, 200 crore I have. Can I print 1 lakh crores? No. How can you? It will inflate the economy. Foreigners will scoot from the country. Nobody will come into your country. Your Forex reserves will be depleted. Your fiscal deficit will be high because you have to borrow, subsidize and cool the economy. So you can't do all that. Ultimately, the control is macroeconomic stability and so on. You'll see it in the graphic. Yeah, you've seen it in the graphic. Can you print it without limitations? No, economic factors decide how much you can print. Gold and foreign currency are only, minimum, but ultimately how much you print. Now, how do you print? Why do you print? How do you put it into the economy, etc., etc.? I'm going to talk about it right now. One, you know why you print? There is a Gresham's law. I'll give you an example, recent example. Bad money drives out good. See, in your pocket, you have a 100 rupee note, another 100 rupee note. 100 rupee note is, old note, soiled note, tearing up. Somebody also put some polythene in that. Another is brand new 100 note. So the first person you would have to give 100 rupees to, you will pass on the bad note. Good note, you will keep it in your wallet, you will keep it. Last resort, you will use it. First resort will be the soiled note. So what is in circulation? Soiled note. What is driven out? Good note. Soiled note is bad note. So bad money drives out good money, isn't it? I'll take you to 2023 example I'll give you. Sometime recently the government of India through the RBI said the 2000 rupee notes are never meant to be permanent and now we think we should withdraw them, etc. So you have a 2000 note, you have 500 notes. So the first thing you will give to anyone you have to give is 2000 note. 500 note, don't touch it. Why? 2000 is bad money. Drives out good money. Out means where? Out of circulation. So the notes that were in circulation were 2000 notes. Why? Bad drove the good out. That is Gresham's law. You may say, what is law about it? Law is not a mysterious thing. What happens all the time, you convert that into law, the norm. A repetitive happening creates a law. So, that's Gresham's law. So, after a while, RBI, finally when no one is accepting your note, where did you go? To the RBI gave you a 2000 note. And that torn note, where did you go? To the RBI. So, RBI periodically prints to replace the soiled notes. That is the, routine function of the RBI, replacement of the soiled with the new notes. And nothing much to talk about it, routine function. Another is, these notes have to have more security features. Therefore, tomorrow, if there is a new material, new printing process, let us replace the existing notes without security with new notes with security. Even that is an administrative thing. It doesn't have anything to do with the macroeconomy and the monetization. Routine, administrative. Another routine thing I'll tell you. See, some time back, if I recall, 1 year back, few months back, maybe 1 year back, one of the leaders of Delhi suggested that there should be Lakshmi Devi on the currency note because we worship Lakshmi. Somebody who wants to be a great intellectual, Saraswati, wants to be powerful, Durga, wants to have lots and lots of money, Lakshmi. Somebody wants to have all that, all three. So it is a traditional sort of, deity of ours, monetary deity. So somebody suggested on our note we should have Lakshmi. Don't bring secularism and all that here. Somebody suggests let's have Vigneshwara. Somebody suggests let's have Ambedkar. Yeah. So if you want to have a new symbol, then you have to print. That's also a routine thing. What's the great thing about today? Mahatma Gandhi is there and then you add another hero to that. So be that security, be it soiled, be it a new symbol, all of them are routine. They have nothing to do with monetary policy and monetary economy. Now let's get to the substantive part of monetization. There are three basic reasons why you will print. Three. And we discussed all that, but I'm consolidating. Government tells the RBI, FRBM doesn't allow, but escape clause allows. Government tells the RBI, print 1,000 rupees and give it to me. Give me the credit, I'll pay you interest. And there's a concept called CNAH, that is, to print 500 rupee note, it takes you maybe 10 rupees or 20 rupees, whatever, and some logistics, all that 25 rupees. The face value is 500 and the cost of supply is 25 rupees. 475 rupees is the profit that the RBI makes, and they'll pass it on to the government. That is the basic concept of CNAH. And we operate the fiat currency. Fiat means, you see that 100 rupee note in your pocket, what is its value? Nothing. Nothing. RBI says it's worth 100, and if you give that 100, you will get your tomatoes and onions, nobody can refuse it. Then so it is by the order of the RBI, the Government of India, that this 100 note acquires its monetary value, otherwise it has no value. It's not like gold, it's not like copper, it's not like silver. Silver has value independent of the monetary value. But this 100 thing has value only because the RBI said it is the currency worth 100 rupees. That's called fiat money. So CNAH is the difference between the cost of supply, cost of printing, and the face value. That's the profit of the RBI, this and that. Now, so Government of India tells the RBI, sir, you give me a loan of 1,000, print it and give it to me. You have to print. Finally, when I tell you to print, you can't say no. RBI Act says that. You could advise me, you could counsel me, but you cannot say no to me. So print and then give me. So RBI prints to supply credit to the Government of India. FRBM doesn't allow, but FRBM escape clause allows. Post-COVID, we are under the escape clause, and so under the FRBM also, RBI prints and gives to the government, and the government spends it and gives salaries and all that. So that's how it appears in the economy. RBI, government, economy. That is the finally one of the reasons, basic reasons, why the RBI prints. Another reason why the RBI prints is, RBI, okay, economy is growing, it needs more money. After all, it is the monetary resources that drive the economy. Somebody wants to invest and the rates are going very high. Let us augment some liquidity, print money, buy the government paper with the banks, put money there. So you added money to the economy. By this means, you buy the government securities. That is one means. Another can be any other means. So RBI prints to infuse money via the financial system into the economy so that the banks can lend for the further growth of the economy. That's very simple. There is demand for money. You're constrained. Economy is stalling. So print and put money there, lend for investment and consumption. That's another, channel of printing. Third one is, we already discussed it. There is dollar coming into the economy. I need to buy the dollar. I need to keep the dollar. I have lots of uses for it. And to do that, it's a big operation. I need to print money. With that rupee, I need to buy the dollar, keep the dollar with me. So to buy dollar, point number 3. To infuse money into the economy for the economy to grow, number 2. Number 1, of course, is to print and lend to the Government of India, FRBM, conditions and all that. These are the only 3 substantive reasons why the RBI monetizes, prints money, extra money, and ensures it goes into the economy. Even when today the government tells the RBI, print 100, I need to build a road. When you build a road, after all, you're giving salaries, you're buying materials and this, that. So government borrowing also gives a stimulus to the economy, and then through the banks and this. This is all about why the RBI. How much I already told you. How much is issue related to systemic stability, systemic requirement, and there is a rationality, monetary rationality for that, and RBI is bound by that, and that rationality is universal. For the given economy, size, prospects, etc., X amount of money needs to be printed. Everyone knows. There is no, sort of enigma about it. There is nothing like rocket science about it, monetary science. So this is about the RBI's printing. RBI has printed. I'm pausing so that you exercise your thinking, see if any connections require to be, clarified. Ask me whatever you like.
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, what if we increase the gold reserve?
What is the?
What if the RBI increases the gold reserve?
This 115 crore.
Yes, sir.
See, RBI can't do it. The Government of India, Parliament have to do it. They have to amend the RBI Act. So why? What is the purpose of increasing? RBI has 200 tons of gold. The expectation is only 115 crore of gold. 115 crore of gold, I mean, even Adani won't touch. What is this 115? Compared to the amount of gold that the RBI has. So, I mean, why are you asking this question? Increase means why? In order to, basically our friend is thinking, today there is no control, you're printing as much as you like, and, that's why there is inflation. Let's bring a bit of gold standard back, anchor the printing to availability of gold. That's your question.
Yes.
So you see, there are two schools. One school says, gold is a limitation. Another school says, just as it is a limitation on the amount of money that's printed, it's also a limitation. Okay, today, so much of money is floating around. People, they get up in the morning, the first thing they do, Bombay Stock Exchange, horse racing, computer games, all sorts of speculation because there is so much of money. If you limit the availability of money, maybe money will be more productively used. Maybe there will be less of speculation. Maybe there will be less of inflation. Maybe there will be less of wasteful usage of money. So limit the availability of money. That's two schools of thought. But then limitation cannot be by legal means. Limitation has to be voluntary, systemic, and limitation because of the globalization process. Are you not scared? People will leave your country, won't come to your country if you overprint or underprint? Isn't that a bigger control than having a bit of gold in your pocket linking to the process of creation of money? Means monetization. Which is better tool? You tell me. Today, you see, please, you are studying. Has anyone put a gun to your head, study or else? You are studying because you want to come up in life. Similarly, we are printing X amount of money because at that level of money supply, our economy is going to flourish, etc., etc. So, gold as an anchor is too crude a tool. Is it? Is it not?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Take your time. That's a wonderful question. See, these are the childlike questions you always wanted to figure out.
Sir,
Yeah.
is there any impact of UPI transaction over printing of the money?
So UPI, whatever money there is, UPI transacts. Whether I have a rupee in my pocket physical or I have a rupee in my wallet, digital, what I have, that is created by RBI. So UPI may enhance the velocity, how many times money changes hands. See, I have 1 rupee in my pocket. Yesterday I forgot to bring this 1 rupee, So I can't buy anything on the way. I find lovely stuff on the street food, I die for street food So I could not because I didn't bring, if I had the UPI, if that guy also had a UPI, while coming here I will buy some, street food, velocity. And then he also has UPI, somebody else has UPI. He will buy tomato, he will buy onion, he will buy whatever, a toy. So digital economy enhances the velocity of money, the number of times that it changes hands. Yeah? Yes?
Yes,
Will that propel growth? Surely it does. Surely it does. So digitalization of the economy through availability of digital channels for transaction will certainly stimulate the economy. That's one of the reasons why Indian economy is posting good rates of growth. Yeah.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, how proportional reserves, like how countries like Germany work on proportional reserve as they were
No one, you see, gone are the days when something controlled you. What is the history? History is, after 45, what happened, 1945? America said, we will control our money supply with gold, and you guys, you don't have gold. So you do one thing, you buy American dollar, keep American dollar and print your currency. After all, you must have some control. For America, the control is gold. For you, American dollar is the control. So you pick up American dollar, keep that, and linking to that, you print your francs and marks and pounds and all that. That was after 45. 1971, 70, what happened? America said, what the hell? The whole world wants my dollar. I need dollar to fight a war in Vietnam. All the petrodollars, etc., etc., a lot of oil consumption, all payment is in dollar. Am I going to tell them, sorry, I can't print dollar because I don't have so much of gold? So America said, to hell with gold, I'll print as much as I will print. So gold standard broken. And then they said, okay, if you say to hell with gold, what's the value of your currency? We'll say to hell with the anchorage to American dollar. And since then, all printing is linked to only the need. The need. The need means the need for America. See, I keep giving this example in the class. There is America, there is a country which is not America, not strong and all that. There is this guy preparing for civil services. 6 days in a week he studies 10 hours apart from the classroom. And on the 7th day he sees 3 movies, morning. And he's a Netflix addict. On the 7th day, come Monday, he is back into the, study mode. There is another guy who doesn't study but he is also into Netflix. The Netflix guy who doesn't study, he'll be, nobody likes him. There'll be lots and lots of controls. So America yesterday Biden told the Congress, give me $100 billion in, just as an installment. Yeah? Nobody says no. People are still chasing the dollar, in spite of the fact that America is printing more and more dollar. Why? That's American dollar. Whereas, so America, how much it can print depends upon the global acceptance of, the same thing. Whereas take India, if you print 1 rupee more, the whole world will tell you, please don't print so much, or. So yes, nobody is anchored to gold or stuff. You print as much as you have to print. You have to print for a variety of reasons, public goods and all that, print. That's the norm today.
Sir, so then if there is a future lockdown condition, if it comes, then there would be deflation in America because it has printed so much of dollars.
What condition?
If there is a lockdown condition comes,
Lockdown means COVID type.
yeah, this type of
See,
all of
please
this-
understand one thing. It doesn't apply to America. American rates were going up. Generally, in a country when rates go up, Inflation was about 9-10% in America. Unheard of. I've never heard of. Maybe 40 years back. Never heard of this. Inflation at 10%. Interest rates were being raised like creating earthquakes on a monthly basis. People were in greater love with American dollar. You try the same thing in India, there will be no foreigner left in India. Why? You know, America in that sense is not a standard textbook economy. There is America, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and there is nobody else after that. Nobody trusts China. You may say China is 18 trillion and all that. American economy operates by separate rules because there have been, so much riding on America. If not America, what? Give normal economy examples. America, deflation. What do you mean deflation? There will be no demand. Print money and give it to the people, push them into the malls and shops and ask them to buy. Give them loan and tell them you don't have to pay the loan back. We'll mafi. America can do anything. Same thing other countries do. Then they have to think of consequences. You got it?
Yes.
Yeah. But if you are looking for linkages, if you can ask me the question, I'll link it up properly for you. Deflation, recession, etc., etc. Those linkages I can create for you. Take your time. This is one aspect for today. Monetization. Next is, so you created money. I'm the RBI, created a lot of money. What do you call that money? Reserve money. Reserve money or high-powered money. High-powered money or monetary base. Whatever the term you are using for the total quantum of money created by the central bank, whatever the term, one of the three you could use, they mean the same. Money created by the RBI, which is there in the economy. That's called the high-powered money, monetary base, reserve money. So, now, there are a lot of things linked to this. Dharmendra ji, any graphic linked to what we taught just now? None. Okay. Okay. So, RBI has to keep a track on money because depending upon the availability of money, everything else in the economy takes place. Growth, inflation, speculation, all that. But, okay, you printed 100 rupees. Can I assume all the 100 is in the economy chasing goods and services? No. There are liquidity variables. MO, M0 that is, M1, M2, M3, M4, and then there is narrow and broad. Narrow money, broad money. See, okay, you printed 100. 100 is the reserve money. That is all that you printed, high powered. You know, in that, $4.5 is a CRR. RBI takes it away. That's never in circulation. That's with RBI. So, 95.5 rupees is the money with the public or circulation, whatever. 95.5 money in circulation. This can circulate. In this, let's say 50 paisa, I'm a bank, I have to keep some money in my vault. That's not for lending, maybe for emergency, maybe for some other purpose. Little bit of vault money it is called, even that is not for lending. So that money is also not in with the public. This is the money in circulation, but not with the public. So take this out. 95 is with the public. 95 is with the public. 95.5 is the money in circulation. Yes? 100 I printed. 4.5 I've taken away, CRR. 95.5, and each bank keeps a little bit of vault cash. That's also not with the public. Cut that out. You landed at 95 rupees, which is the money with the public. That doesn't mean that that money which is 95 rupees is there with the public in the pocket. No, 1 rupee may be there in the pocket. So that is where you start to see how liquid are different types of money. The 100 in your pocket, money. The 100 in your savings account, money. The 100 in your current account, money. The 100 in your savings account of the post office, money. The 100 in your national savings certificate post office, money. The fixed deposit money that you have, that's also money. So I want to know about inflation. RBI exists to control inflation, all else can wait. So you got 100 in your pocket. All that 100 could be exhausted. Buying goods and services, inflation. If that is short, draw your money from the CASA, current and savings. So that is also liquid. So the money in your pocket and the money that you have in your CASA accounts in the bank, they are, combined into, this is the reserve money. M1 is, the currency with the public plus the CASA, currency with public, currency, coins, whatever, feel free, currency with public plus CASA, that is M1. See, when did you guys handle the physical? You are handling only digital. So why do you have this M1, you please tell me? To know how much money is at your immediate disposal, that much money you can spend, if not this hour, next hour, and that can be inflation, how much of inflation, demand, growth, all that. So if I single out only physical money, am I doing justice to my work? So all the money, see, your money is there, 100 in the bank, 50 rupees you kept physically with you, that 100 can also be drawn, so 150 physical. So we are talking of money, digital, physical. In your pocket, digital wallet. But credit cards, debit card is what you already have. Credit card, etc., don't go that hyper about it. Credit card and cryptos and we don't want to talk about that. We are talking traditionally. Digital is traditional. Your question is answered? Money. Please understand one thing. You people have truckloads of common sense. 99% of knowledge cracks with common sense. So if I ask you this question, don't think all this knowledge textbook. What will you say? Physical or digital, it's available. It can inflate. Therefore, both are one. Money is money. That's what you will tell me now. No? You will tell me that? Our friend? Huh? So currency with public plus CASA is the most liquid. Some of it is already there in your pocket and some of it, one split second it will be there, you can spend it. Digitally you can spend, physically also. M2 is, to this you please add to the M1, post office. Post office savings account, saving deposits in the post office. So then you get M2, because post office savings deposits also you could liquidate. I don't see any big difficulty there. It's a saving deposit, it's not a certificate. So that is the next bit when you are seeing the liquidity of a asset. In M3, you add M1, M3 is broad, M1 is narrow. You add M1 and fixed deposits. Fixed means term, 6 months, 3 months, 1 year. They're not withdrawable, they're locked in for a period. Time deposit. Time deposit. Time. So M1, not M2, please. Post office is separate. M1, M3. Outside the post office doesn't come into the picture in M3. The most liquid plus the rest of it in the bank. And when you go into the M4, of course, you have to add M3 plus M2 is equal to M4. So, with the knowledge that the RBI has, the experience that they have for the effectiveness of the monetary policy, understanding the liquidity, they have constructed these 4 aggregates. M1 you can understand, M3 you can understand, M2 is the post office, M4, M3 plus the post office. This is the ascending order of illiquidity or descending order of liquidity. Most liquid, little less, comprehensive. M3, M4 is all the money that you printed. Is there any money left here? M3 plus M2 is M4. Every money is there. CASA is there, FD is there, post office is there, everything is there. Don't ask me, sir, I have a NBFC account. I've got some money in the Tata Finance or Birla Finance. That level of specification, we don't have it here. When you say bank, you mean the NBFC also. After all, they are also, that is FD. NBFC doesn't take a current account, savings account, they take only FD. So that will come here in M3, because in M3 you got FD. So basic point, what am I making? As far as the liquidity is concerned, most liquid, less. As far as the comprehensiveness of the coverage of the money is concerned, this, it doesn't work that way. This, everything, this and this. M2 is left out because that's a part of here. So that's okay. Comprehensiveness, M4, M3, etc. Liquidity, M1, etc. So this is how money is classified depending upon the liquidity of it. Why should you bother? You should bother as a central bank because is the money supply growing? Is it growing more than the rate of growth of economy? Is it excess? The excess is in the FD or the excess is in the narrow money? If it is so, it's going to inflate. Shall we sell some government securities and take out some money? So, all sorts of calibration, all sorts of granular thinking takes place based on this data. This is blunt data. What we as 12th class students, this is what we have to understand. But when it comes to making the monetary policy, intervening, buying and selling, and checking the availability of liquidity, oh, they have artificial intelligence and all that. So these are the monetary aggregates that we have seen. I would like to, basically, inflation was 10% in UK. You know what a lot of people did? Understand this clearly. You know what a lot of people did? They withdrew their money from the banks and kept the money with themselves. I don't know the logic. In a digitalized economy, I'm very confident about India. I have 100 rupees. 40 rupees I'll keep it in the FD because tomorrow I'll get another 100. I'm not so confident about India. No FD, all money in my savings account. I'm even less confident. Inflation is everywhere. Even that money that I have in my savings account, 50% of that I'll withdraw and keep it with myself. It is my heart. It is my mind. It is my body, everything. Because you have children, little children. You have to buy them milk powder. You need to have cash. God knows what will happen to banks tomorrow. No one trusts all these banks and all that. They're okay in peacetime. But if the guy runs away with the money, he's a private sector character. If he runs away, who's going to safeguard your money? So the lady knows and the man also knows. 10% of inflation is a separate planet altogether. Your thinking is also separate. Then you withdraw the money, a lot of money, and keep the cash with yourself and feel safe that, you could do something with it. So, how much you keep there, how much you keep here, and how much cash you keep, all that is a function of the performance of the economy and inflation. I'm sure you agree with me, behaviorally. That's whether you agree or I agree, how does it matter? I have seen this happen in the last year and a half. I've been following UK and staff behavior. This has been the behavior, and based on that you could construct multiple choice questions. Based upon the empirical evidence, historical evidence. So these are the aggregates. I'm waiting here for you to respond with any doubts if you have. That will also be an occasion for us to discuss, etc. All this we have to finish in a minute or two. Will you wear the hat of a monetary policy practitioner? What kind of hat you wear? You wear the hat of a 10th class person, 12th class person. How will a question come? Can I match up? That is all you are thinking about, nothing else. Understand this. Now you know why the term narrow and the broad, the words are used here. You know it now. This is narrow. If I think inflation, growth, etc., speculation is driven only by the immediately available money, the most liquid money, then I'll be caught sleeping, caught napping. Why? Push comes to shove. You could liquidate this and this also and this also. So, what is the push? With that level of push, what kind of, how much of money will be there used by the public? I need to figure out on an hourly basis, daily basis. For that, these aggregates will help me. Narrow, broad. Narrow money growth tells me narrow money is growing. People are putting more money in the CASA. I'm worried. Confidence levels are low. Broad money is growing. Wonderful, they are putting money in the fixed, which means confidence levels are high. What is the rate of growth of money? Oh, it's more than the rate of growth of economy, much more, inflationary. So these numbers will indicate to me what I should do next. Take your time. Yes?
What is time deposit?
You see, you have 100 rupees and everything is wonderful. Keep 30 rupees with you, 30 rupees in the savings account, fetches you 2.5, but withdrawable any number of times almost. 4 rupees you keep, 40, you keep in the fixed time deposit. How much time? Oh, I'm so confident. Keep it for 5 years. Not so confident. 3 years. Not even that confident. 1 year. So time deposit is the deposit in a bank which is locked in for a fixed term. That fixed can be, it can start maybe with 90 days, maybe 30 days, but generally medium to long term, 1 year, etc., etc. Got it? Yeah. Take your time. Yes.
So this classification is just based on the amount of the liquidity in terms of the domestic currency.
Domestic, it's all domestic, it's all rupee. Because nobody can spend $1 in the country. I have to convert that into rupees and spend. So there could be a lot of dollar. When you go further, you have to also say, convert a bit of the dollar into rupee and add that to what can, inflate and all that. But we are talking, everything here is rupee. Who has a dollar account? How many people have dollar account? Rupee. What the RBI prints is rupee. Where the rupee is placed is this, M1, M2, M3, M4. It's all rupee. Yes? Yeah.
Sir, M1 and M3 are narrow and M2 and M4 are broad.
M1 narrow, M3 broad, M2 is out of the picture, M4 is out of the picture because the focus is basically on banks. Post office, what happens? It doesn't decide too much. At any rate, see, I'm the RBI, you are the banks and the NBFCs. You got, banks have M1 and M3 and NBFCs have the fixed deposits, they come into M3. I'm the RBI. I have no control over the post office. In what way can I control that? I can't even tell the government to reduce the interest. They are competing with the banks and banks are not able to attract anything. All the money is going to the post office. I can't even do that. Did I tell you about dosanomics of Rajan? I have? Okay, we'll talk about it. Inflation, dosanomics, thalinomics, and then our Prime Minister created pakoda. We'll talk of that also. Later, inflation. So post office, the RBI has no control. And we are talking of variables over which the RBI has control. And so, post office is neither here nor here. But in the, totality of money, it has to be accommodated for RBI to understand. Maybe tell the government, sir, you do this, etc., etc. You got it?
Yes.
Okay. Take your time. My ambition is it shouldn't look like a jungle to you. It should look like, pretty ordinary, dealable thing. Let's show the graphic, Dharmendra ji. I've got, I think, 1 or 2. Yeah.
Why differentiate the post office saving deposit differently? These are also saving deposits.
See, post office is under the government control. Under my control, banks and NBFCs. This is what I can handle by raising the rate. I can raise the rate and you guys will raise the rate. If I raise the rate, will post office raise the rate? That's a fiscal policy of the government. Even while that has relation to how much of money is floating in the economy, I don't have direct control, so they carved out a separate class for post office. Got it? Okay. So, yes. Yes. Reserve, base money, that's also base money. Currency in circulation, currency with public, aggregates. You know, why do I keep saying understand it like a 10th class student? Because when you are in the 10th class, you are not mystifying anything. Oh, this, oh, that. You are a simple mind, curious mind, want to know, no hurdles, nothing. That mind, if you can retrieve, all this is a plaything for you. Otherwise, you are mystified. Who and all. See how wonderful it is. Just that I wanted a rupee symbol, but we are not an international currency so far. So, global digital resources don't have it so readily. Rupee. That's the only problem here. Dollar, 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 while we are dealing with rupee. Dharmendra ji, next time. And different colors of rupee. Everything we discussed, captured here, wonderfully, cryptically. You don't have a single word extra, you don't have a single word missing. Exactly how you want to take your notes down. So this graphic will save you at least 60 minutes. Don't have to make any notes whatsoever. Keep this for revision. And bother about this, not too much. Only understand. Narrow, broad? Yes. Again, dollar. Read this. A classical MCQ. Narrow money, short-term liquidity. Tends to fluctuate with interest rates and economic activity. Fluctuate. This is stable. Broad money is stable. When there is lot of stability, broad. Fixed deposit, 3 years stable. Current account, savings account, today I have 10, tomorrow 7, day after 13. You know, it goes fluctuating. So that is why the more liquid you are, the more it fluctuates, the more it can be influenced, etc. This is stable. So when he is going to ask you about this, he is going to use these words. If you understood this, there is nothing beyond this. Our friend asked the question, time deposits, fixed deposits. With some delay. You know, I tell my bank, sir, I have 50 rupees of mine with you in the FD. Can I have it? He'll say, are you sure? This, that, then there's a process, fill this form, all sorts of things. Delay and difficulty.
Sir,
Yeah.
why the term short-term liquidity is there when we have a more liquidity in the narrow?
Short term is I have 10 rupees in my savings account. This money I kept it for use. So short term. Another 10 I have in the FD, medium to long term. So short term is when I have a certain financial asset for use in the near future. Isn't it? Short term. Here, in general, short term is up to 364 days. But short term means I kept the asset, it could be of use to me anytime. That is short term. You know, the FD gets me 5-6%. Savings gets me 2.5%. Why do I keep in 2.5%? Because I may need it tomorrow, day after. Isn't it? Short term, yeah. The words you use after our lectures are over are entirely your own. Don't be controlled by anything in the textbook or anything. You use the expressions, the description, the analysis according to your own language. Because understanding is there. You know, language, when you use your own language, the originality will come out, that will be appreciated, rather than using all the PIB language, you see, that everyone uses. These days, UPSC is preferring people who are original, who argue on their own, after knowing the basic concepts. Obvious. So this is broad and narrow. Anything else also? This is RBI. We'll come to later. No, this also later. This I'm talking about it just now. One or two more I have sent just now before coming for the class. This we have seen. We have seen it just now? Yeah. Go back to the previous one, huh? Not the same thing, not, this is something else. Something else means words are different, explanation is different, but only problem with this is it goes a little poetic, you take it away. Big words are used, I thought I'll simplify. Take this away before they become poetic. We are into monetary policy. Bond yield inversion yesterday, didn't we see? The inversion, please take a look. I think this we skipped. See 22. You have to give the most recent example. You can't give 82 and 64 and all that. He expects you to react to the news items. All the economics we have is newspaper economics. Spend 1 minute here. Okay.
Sir, how the growth money will, if growth money will grow, then how will it impact the economy?
How, when broad money increases,
Yes, sir.
broad money is as close to the base money, the totality of money, of all the four that you have seen, broad money, you can take this off. This is broad money, you know, The total circle is the monetary base, all the money. In which broad money, okay, this much. Almost all, except the post office, almost all. So broad money shows you the rate of growth of money supply in the economy. I'll give you an example. RBI printed money to buy dollar. Why? We'll see it. But then when I bought a dollar, I gave you rupees and bought a dollar. And I've got the dollar, you got the rupee. There's a lot of rupee in the market. That rupee is inflating. So I've printed the bond to sequester the rupee. That is, remove the rupee, absorb the rupee. How much is there in the market because I bought the dollar? 50 rupees. How much of that is inflationary? 40 rupees. I have to take 40 rupees out. But to take 40 rupees out, it's very costly for me. I have to sell you a bond. You give me the money. I have to pay you interest. I need to keep it with myself. I can't pass it on to the government because of FRBM. I can't put it into the economy because I've taken it from the economy because it's inflationary. So rather than removing 40 because of the cost involved, I will remove only 35. 5 excess is floating around. It is reflecting in the broad money. So experts tell me, sir, the rate of growth of economy requires X amount of money, but there are 5 rupees more than that X amount of money showing in the broad money. Then what do I realize? Either I tell the government you stimulate the economy so that this 5 rupees is productively engaged, or I have to sell a security and take this 5 out. So broad money basically shows to me whether excess of money is there or the money supply is in alignment with the needs of the economy. Narrow doesn't show me because narrow is narrow. Broad money growth tells me about is the rupee availability right, excess, deficit. That's a function of the broad money. Yes? Got it? Yeah, that's all there is. Now let's move to another topic. Same subtopic. You know that subtopic is very important. Money multiplier, credit creation. Money multiplier, credit creation. See, central bank, that is the Reserve Bank, our Reserve Bank, it prints 100 rupees and gives it to the government. Let's say government. Somewhere it has to go into the economy. Let's route it through the government. Print 100, give it to the government. And the government gives somebody a salary, 100 rupees. And he puts it in the bank. His account, check of course, 100 rupees. So if the RBI thinks that the 100 rupees that it has printed will impact the economy only to the level of 100 rupees, it is desperately wrong. It is so wrong that even a child will laugh at it. Why? I'm going to tell you. So, the person who picked up the 100 rupees salary check from the government puts it in his bank account. 100 rupees. Bank account. And there is, let's say, 10% of reserve requirement. 10% is a simple number, 5%. In India, 4.5%. So 10% of reserve requirement. So 90 rupees the bank can lend, the bank lent me 90 rupees check. Opened an account. Generally you open an account with the bank that lends you the money. Same bank I opened an account. 90 rupees. 90 rupees. If I drew some money, I gave a check, same thing will happen. He will deposit. So 90 rupees. How much is the reserve requirement? 10 rupees. That means 80, 90 minus 80 rupees is lendable after deducting the reserve requirement. They have lent to a guy. Check, opens an account, puts the 80. You know, if he uses the 80, he uses it by a check, and whoever got the check, he'll deposit, and again the same thing. So 80 they lent him, opens an account, 10 out, 70 I'll just round it off actually, 8 and 9 and all that. 70 lent to him, bank account, keep it in the bank. 10 rupees, it's 7 rupees, but I'm simplifying 10. Lend 60, bank account, keep 10, lend 50. So you know how much of business gets done when the RBI prints 100. It is 10 times more than the 100 it printed, because banks have the power of credit creation. Credit creation, remember it's credit. They are not creating money, though of course it works as money, but to differentiate it from RBI's printing of money, when banks do lending after keeping back the reserve requirements, credit creation. For every 100 rupees the RBI prints, it should factor in 1000 rupees of activity in the economy. Otherwise, it will mess up so badly. So this is called the money multiplier. Hasn't money multiplied from 100 to 1000 through this process of credit creation? This is called credit creation and money multiplier. Yes? Got it? You know, I'm assuming that economy is booming. I'm assuming that nobody is keeping cash back. I'm assuming that all the money is lendable because everybody wants credit. These are the assumptions that you bring in to explain the concept of money multiplier via credit creation. The 10% is an assumption. Dharmendraji, there is a graphic. The last one that we did not show. Next one, this one. Yeah. Follow the reasoning carefully. You know, SLR I said here, reserve requirements, but that's not right. SLR means what? I'm a bank, 100 rupees of deposits I have, 18 rupees I have to keep away as government securities essentially. So 18 rupees I bought government security, and government got the money, I got the paper, government put it back into the economy. So it's not taken away from the economy. But still I had to mention, so I mentioned SLR. For you to be safer is reserve requirements like CRR. That's it. Don't mention SLR, because SLR is, nobody is keeping it outside circulation. We are talking of how much goes into circulation through multiplication. SLR, all the money goes into circulation. You bought gold, that's in circulation. Nobody keeps cash back. So you exercise your discretion to use this or not to use this. It's up to you. 10%, initial deposit of 100, the money multiplier 10 times, 1000 rupees. This note is very important. Real world factors like banks lending will, I've got money. Shall I lend? No, I won't lend because there are too many Vijay Malyas around. I won't lend. So what about the Malaya factor? Borrower demand. Is there demand or is the economy not doing too well? Central bank policies, selective credit control, this and that. They can influence the actual money disbursed, lent. This is very important. If this line is written, if you ever get an opportunity to write, that line will be your lifeline. So, that's it on the credit creation and money multiplier. Any other graphic linked? RBI will come to next. Narrow broad we have seen. This also we have not seen. Let me cover this first after 5 minutes maybe. Yeah. Monetary Policy Committee. See, till 2016, RBI, there is a technical committee headed by the governor. They will give the governor the advice, discussion, brainstorm. Finally, the monetary policy, be it repo rate or CRR, all is the decision of the RBI governor. Inputs taken from various authorities, sources. One person was doing it, he was doing well. One person was doing it. And so there was a suggestion that let's amend the RBI Act, creating a institution, not only the RBI but also non-RBI appointed by the Government of India. 6 of them together will take decisions about the repo rate. Repo rate, because inflation is too important, let there be an institution, multi-member, and by majority let them take a decision, and that will have far more, the broad-based and all that. So that was the RBI Act being amended in 2016. 6 members, I told you. 3, totally 6. 3 are the government appointed, eminent monetary economists. 3 are RBI governor, deputy governor, and someone else from the RBI. So 3 plus 3, they take the decision. Majority. Chairman of the Monetary Policy Committee is the RBI governor. 3. What if 3 say let's raise the rate? 3 say let's not raise the rate? It's called a tie, equality of votes. Who breaks it? RBI governor has a casting vote. I have a problem with the expression casting vote. I am going to share it with you. See, what is a casting vote? This is Lok Sabha. This side, and there is a bill. Some bill, and half say yeah, half say no. There is a tie. And sitting here is the presiding officer, speaker or whoever. He has the duty. He shall break the tie. He shall break the tie, equality, by casting his vote on either side and thus producing a decision. That's called casting vote. Yeah, casting vote. This side, equality, and the presiding officer pops up, and whichever way he votes, that side will win. Here what's the process? 3 and 3. This 3 includes the chairperson, I mean the governor. The chairperson is the governor. This 3 or that 3, 1, 3 will have the governor. So what is the example I gave for casting vote? I don't have a vote. I'm the presiding officer. You are the legislators. 4 on this side, 4 on that side. I throw my weight to, break the deadlock. I didn't have the original vote. I have only casting vote. Whereas RBI governor had the vote originally, that created a tie, and now he has a casting vote. I don't find any sense in this. Am I right or wrong? People are saying casting vote, casting vote. We are students of political science, for God's sake. We are students of political economy. We know what is casting vote. An economist may not know what is casting vote. We are students of law, constitution, Indian polity. So we have a foot here, we have a foot here, so we are clear what's going on. I can't dumbly accept the term casting vote of the RBI governor in case of a tie. He had a vote, he cast his vote, that created a tie, whichever way, what nonsense. Whichever side he voted, that side will win. No? So why are we complicating it? I don't like complications. So but still, you have said it's a casting vote. If there's a tie within the MPC, 3 on one side, 3 on another side, the RBI governor breaks the tie with his casting vote, you have to say that. If you don't say that, they'll fault you. That is a double tragedy. You say it. And what is it that they decide? Only about repo rate. Even though the name of the committee is Monetary Policy Committee, it doesn't deal with the entire monetary policy, it deals only with the repo rate. But while dealing with the repo rate, automatically the whole corridor is covered. MSF, SDF. So you fix this, automatically 0.25, 0.25, it changes. But still you have to say that they deal only with the policy rate. Rest all instruments of the monetary policy still handled by the RBI only. When you say RBI, RBI governor. So that's Monetary Policy Committee. And why do you tinker with the rate? Because the RBI Act was amended to say that price stability is the primary goal of the RBI while keeping growth in mind. Price stability. So price stability is handled by the RBI primarily via changes in the policy rate, repo rate. That's why there's an MPC, broad-based committee to take decisions on the repo rate. Now we can have the graphic. Yes, Monetary Policy Committee, please take a look. You have to target the inflation. First time I have heard the RBI governor last week after the Monetary Policy Committee meeting. They said we are freezing the rate. Of course, yesterday we heard him saying that rates are going to go up because geopolitically everything is volatile. That time in the press conference, first time I have heard him say, because elections are coming, government told him to say it. What did he say? Can I write here? 2, 6, 4. you have to keep your inflation target. Make sure it doesn't breach 6. Make sure it doesn't breach 2. Essentially target 4. But try to keep it within this band. 2 to 6. 4 is the target. All this while, everyone thought that the goal was to keep it in a range of 2 to 6, 4 being the primary target. RBI governor said, first time I've heard him emphasize, 4 is where we want to be. 4. Because when an ordinary Indian sees 6, he faints. Because 6 is too much. 2, he doesn't know, but instinctively he faints. Because 2 means 1 means 0 means economy is crumbling. 6 means getting overheated, things are costlier for me, I'm not able to afford, handle and all that. That's why psychologically he understood. I need to tell my people, my countrymen, that 4 is where we want to be. 4, 4, 4. So that psychologically, people who heard him and others, they feel comfortable. When I see my governor saying, 4 is where I want to be, I feel comfortable. But if he gives me to understand, he is there to keep the inflation between 2 and 6, I'm scared at 6. And 2 leaves me confused and vague. 4 is where I'm at home. That's why he kept on saying 4, 4, 4. I think he said 3, 4 times in about a minute. Read the whole thing carefully. Not once has a question come on Monetary Policy Committee, not once, since 2016 till today. And if the question comes, it will be on this. The act was amended, recommended by Urjit Patel Committee. And then, this, you need to keep between 2 and 6, at 4 basically, or you are excused if you fluctuate between 2 and 6. How do you get this? Who set the target? Government of India sets the target in consultation with the RBI. Since this lecture is not about inflation targeting, it's only a small bit of residuary matter that has not been spelled out here. Still, 4 is there, 6 is there, 2 is there, all that is there. Let me explain. Lower, Dharmendra ji, little bit up. Here. Yeah, 2. 2, 6, 4. Let me explain. So RBI is preoccupied with price stability. Have to keep it at 4, 6, 2, whatever. 4 is the basic goal. Why 4? Because a lot of good things happen at 4. Now is not the time. So Government of India, after consulting the RBI, sets the target of 4, 6, 2, whatever. And the target stays there for 5 years. You did that in 16, and then for 5 years it lasted. You extended it for another 5 years, 21 to 26. So tomorrow a preliminary question, you may say inflation targeting expired in 21, not been renewed, or renewed for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. Who sets the target? RBI or the MPC or the Government of India? Government in consultation with the RBI sets the target. And the question comes, it will be on this. But he can link it to inflation targeting, combine the two and ask you a question.
Sir, can they increase or decrease the target?
Who? Government in consultation with the RBI can. If the government sets the target, increase and decrease is a part of that. But then everyone understands 4. In America, Eurozone, Japan, UK, 2 is where they want the inflation, 2%. Because people will ask them, why can't you import and give it to us? Why can't you step up the supply? If there is deflation, why can't you increase the money supply? If there is inflation, why can't you step up the supply of goods and services? In India, can you ask? So 4 is allowed in India. That's the Monetary Policy Committee. What remains? Oh. This I'm covering now, or okay, I'll cover now. After that we can show that. This and the one before we will show. Give me 5-10 minutes to cover this. So far on the Forex, we have discussed that RBI acquires it. Okay, RBI acquires it. Why? You know, suddenly last year everyone rushed towards American dollar because American banks would give you more interest. If you buy the American bonds, you get more interest. See, 10% in India is nothing compared to 5% in America. Because in India, 10% in an economy which is relatively, so my sense of security tells me 5 in America is too good. 10 in India is good but doesn't compare with 5 in America. So all over the world, yen, euro, pound, even Swiss franc, and of course rupee, everyone liquidated their non-dollar holdings and then rushed. Rupee was sinking. RBI governor must have gone sleepless. Rupee was sinking. So what did he do? He sold dollar, bought rupee. When you buy rupee, rupee will gain. Somebody is selling rupee, so if you buy rupee, you will neutralize the impact on the rupee. Rupee will not fall in the value, rupee will not depreciate, at least as much as it otherwise would. So you had about $630 billion of Forex. Lot of that has been used up to buy the rupee. So RBI bought the rupee, depleted the Forex, etc. So how could you save the rupee? You could save the rupee because you had Forex. In peacetime, you build a reserve. In wartime, you use some of it. That is how you retain security, safety, stability, etc. You did that. Right now, you are running short of edible oils. You know, Russia and Ukraine, both of them, they went to war. They are the producers of sunflower and so on, soybean, shortage, inflation. Because you had foreign currency, you imported it. God forbid this war gets regionalized. Why did you send the 2 aircraft carriers? Will you kill the Gazans with that? No. Someone is looking for fishing in the troubled waters. Not Iran, too small. Someone there. The 2 brothers have met the other day in China. A relation without limits. Russia and China. If they are thinking of fishing in the troubled waters, you are telling them keep off. So you know, after a while you can't protect the crude prices. Now you can ring up Saudi Arabia and tell them, you know, don't sort of allow the prices to go up. But after a while, when it gets regionalized, crude prices are likely to go up. Even then, because you got the Forex reserves, you can import the crude and keep your energy security. You could do that. Or you are thinking of a structural reform. People don't understand that. They want to leave your country and so on. You still have the foreign currency. Somebody borrowed dollar. He is not able to return it. Give him dollar. Return it. Keep the name of the country intact. Rating of the country intact. So there are multiple uses of Forex reserves. So in what form do you keep the Forex reserves? Foreign currency, primarily dollar, and then euro, yen, pound, little bit of yuan also you keep, little bit of anything else you keep. Foreign currency you keep. And then you keep it in the form of gold you keep. Still another is you keep it in the form of IMF units called the special drawing rights. That is the third type of an asset that you keep, Forex. And then every member of the International Monetary Fund has a quota. Quota means how much you have to pay, how much you can borrow, and how much of voting power you have. All the three ride on the term quota. And when you join the IMF, being a member of IMF, you have to keep some money with the IMF. Some of it in the dollar, foreign currency, some in rupee. This foreign currency, that is called a reserve tranche that you have with the IMF. If you are in trouble, you can withdraw that. That is called the reserve tranche with the IMF. Foreign currency, gold, SDR, reserve tranche. This is how you keep your Forex reserves. What will be the ratio? RBI will decide. Some time back, gold was not there. After Lehman Brothers, 200 tons of gold you bought. 28 or some number you picked up gold. Because see, right now, at one time, dollar was a blind buy. Now, not a blind buy, but still a strong buy. Why? They are not behaving well. You don't have a speaker in the house. They could not elect a speaker. Same guy is contesting thrice, losing. Again he could be contesting. Congress is not allowing the government of America to borrow. So there's a standoff between Congress and President repeatedly. There's no speaker in the house. And then you are borrowing so much, Ukraine, this and that. You are there because nobody else is there. You are not there because you are strong. You are there because others are infinitely weaker. So in a situation like this, you have to be a little bit cautious. So it's not all dollar, lot of dollar, little of all else. They don't tell us the breakup. That is the decision of the monetary minds there. They know what's going on, etc. So based on this, let me show you the graphic. You can ask me whatever you like. See, keep this till you are in Labasna. How wonderful it is. Everything is here. Why accumulate? How does RBI? Food security, energy, debt service, defense rupee, where does RBI keep? Okay. So I'm the RBI. I've got 580, 575, whatever. What do I do with it? After all, it should not be idle. So I buy government securities, America, Japan, South Korea, UK, European Central Bank, government securities. They fetch me a little bit. And some I keep as all the central banks deposits. I keep them there. So central bank deposits, central bank securities of various renowned global central banks. And they're all liquid. You can sell them any day, any night you could sell. They're all liquid. So liquidity problem is not there. So that's where RBI invests them. Do they fetch a lot? No. Of late they are fetching because rates are high, but otherwise very little. But it doesn't matter because I've got the reserves for capital security, not for returns. Sovereign debt fund. Next time I'm showing this graphic, I have to change the debt to wealth. Sovereign wealth fund, you know. See, you've got 580. 580 is not much. Let's not entertain the illusion that we are all that secure. No, it's not. If you had $1 trillion and whatever, why keep $1 trillion earning 1%, 2%? Why not segregate $100 billion, constitute sovereign wealth fund? Deadly people are there, let them manage this. Let them buy, let them go to Kazakhstan and buy uranium fields. Go to Australia, buy coal fields and uranium. Ask Saudi Arabia, will you sell us some shares in Aramco? Go to Ethiopia, buy agricultural lands, take a stake in Apple. You know, you can apportion a bit of your Forex reserves to constitute a sovereign wealth fund that can be managed by investing in financial and other assets across the world so that it serves multiple goals: financial returns, energy security, food security and whatnot. So that is how you can, but 580 is not too much to think of sovereign wealth fund. Therefore, we have not entertained the idea. Maybe 5 years from now, we, flourish to that 6 trillion and all that. You can think of it. And along with that comes a lot of foreign currency, FDI, a lot of exports, then genuine foreign currency. Today, it's not genuine. It's all borrowed money. So we can't afford. But don't say all that. You can say, we need 580 for our external account security and other purposes, and therefore, we have not constituted a sovereign wealth fund. Don't say 580 is not too much, because we are Indians. We have to talk only greatly about India. That is official logic, and we honor that. Sovereign wealth fund. You're okay on all this? Foreign central banks. Shall we go to the next graphic? There is one, no? Yeah, the breakup of the 580 billion. Yes. These are the functions of RBI. Forex breakup there is. Before. Yes. This is the breakup. This is a good preliminary question. Answer the option. Descending order. These are the types of Forex reserves. Descending order. Currency, gold, SDR, the tranche and all that. See, you got this much of gold. Go back 15 years back, RBI, foreign currency, gold hardly played a part. 18 billion of SDR. We'll have an occasion to talk of SDR later. Reserve is 5 billion, 5, 18, 44, 525. But this is the example from October 1st or last week of September. Ever since a fortnight and a half has gone past. We'll see, but it will hover around here, a few $1 billion that side, this side. Again, you need this for any article you come across anywhere. You don't need about foreign currency reserves because these two graphics will serve you 100% for your examination. We don't need anything else at all. You've heard me, you've got these tables, you're 100% ready. Don't have to go through all sorts of things. And the numbers change. Nobody is going to ask you in the prelim. This pattern, the metadata will remain the same. Highest, next, see 44, 18. When will this overtake that? There is no supply of SDR for it to overtake. So you will never sell gold in the upcoming 1 year. Will you sell gold? Definitely not. Time to pick gold. So this and this. Differences being so huge, this order will stay intact. Till your exams are over. Who is bothered? Is it 525 or 515? No one's bothered. I think next page, yeah. One thing I want to discuss with you, I'm expecting this in the exam. So today, you've got $100 with the RBI. Dollar, euro, pound, yen, little of renminbi, little of gold, SDR, etc. They don't change their value, not so much. So you know RBI has $100 billion. How is it 100 billion? 1 euro was fetching $1.50. And I had 10 euros. So $1.50 each, $15. But now euro and dollar are on par. So when I revalue my foreign exchange reserves with the new value of the dollar, I find the euro stock of mine is fetching me less dollar. So I'm no longer having $100, I'm having 95. Because earlier I would have $15 for the 10 euros. Now I have $10 for the 10 euros, highly oversimplified. So when I revalue on a weekly basis or otherwise, my non-dollar holdings, converting them into the dollar value, if they gained, I'll have more dollar. If they lost, I'll have less dollar. So that is what is called the valuation changes. Tomorrow there will be a lovely question against it. See, I have exemplified. Euro weakens, euro strengthens. Accordingly, the change in the value of the foreign currency, Forex reserves, in the name of dollar. And this is another wonderful preliminary question. IMF is a facility of first resort. Facility, not IMF, the tranche. It's your money that the IMF is keeping. You're a member, you paid them in dollar, paid them in rupee. The stuff that you paid in the dollar is a reserve tranche. You could dip into it as the first resort. Your Forex reserve dried up. Before you borrow, this is there. Facility of the first resort. To borrow from IMF is the lender of last resort, whatever. But to dip into your own money kept with the IMF as the tranche, reserve tranche, that is the facility of first resort. The first money that you dip into when you run dry is this tranche, facility of the first resort. So in this very page, there are at least 2-3 multiple choice questions waiting to be asked. This, example of this and this. And general note on reserve position, tranche. Anything else here? How much time do I have? No time left. Okay.